Hi friends, so I've got the camera adjusted and I want to share with you a little bit about the class that I will be doing online September the 24th. Now the class is free. However, if you want to participate and pick up these items you see in front of me, then you could certainly add them to an order, and I will make the kits that I use in class available to you with a minimum $35 purchase. Now, what you are looking at is actually the Penguin Place bundle, and I love this bundle because it comes with a punch, and I want to hold this up just a little bit so you can see. And then the paper that you're looking at is actually a free Celebration item. So this paper is available until the end of September when Celebration ends. If you do not have a catalog, if you do not have a Celebration brochure, please reach out to me as soon as possible and I will get that in your hands. Let me show you the paper real quickly, and the patterns are very graphic with the foxes, bears, and penguins, but the opposite side of the paper is a neutral tone. This would be just jade. Then we have another pattern, and the bears appear to be dancing in this one with also another neutral tone on the back. I love the pastels in this pack, and if you love all of our purple and lavender shades, this is the perfect paper for that. Another one with Mr. Fox and Mr. Snowman and Mr. Penguin with their scarves and hats. It's adorable. Ooh, this is a bright striped pattern, but this is still a lighter tone, what we call more of a subtle tone. And this would be the Moonlight Mist. We have another one. Now hang in there because I'm going to show you a card. I'm going to show you a sample of something that's been created with this kit. This is great. Mr. Bear is pulling Mr. Penguin along on a sled. So this is definitely fun figures. They're doing fun things. Kind of hard to imagine all the snow activities in Florida. But anyway, here is that beautiful Fresh Freesia, which is one of our new in colors. Another beautiful pattern. And one more graphic with our friends holding hands. I love it. And this is another neutral tone. So I'll be using this 12 by 12 designer paper, which you can get free in the Celebration brochure, and I will be focusing on this bundle. Now let me show you a fabulous card. The layout was not my idea, however, but this is what we all came up with. I used the striped paper, which has, again, that this gives you your color palette for this pack of paper, and the neutral lighter tone of Fresh Freesia. Mr. Penguin on the front has not actually been stamped from the stamp set, although he could be. He's actually been punched right from the designer paper, and I love it when Stampin' Up! Gives us, again, something we could die cut or we could punch from the designer paper. But hold on to your hat. This is a fun fold. Hold on to your snow hat, that is. Voila! So these little critters are Mr. Penguin standing on the platform, and Mr. Polar Bear and Mr. Fox are enjoying the stage as well. This says, be cool, be chill, be merry. And I probably will make some fun folds. And again, if you place a minimum $35 order, when the class posts online, I will send you all of the pre-cut kits ready to go so you can make the cards we made in class. You'll have my video instruction online. You will also have all the measurements in the description of the video. And you can pick up a pack of free paper as well if you would like before the end of the month. That'll be it. And I imagine all of these celebration items are first come, first serve. And I imagine this paper will be gone soon. Okay, World Card Making Day. What is World Card Making Day? Well, it's an event that crafters all over the world, even across the pond, will be participating in, and internationally and locally and across our United States, there will be many card makers working on projects that day. And Stampin' Up! Even has a special place where you can post your creations. But I wanted to make it into an event since we've not been together for quite a while now, and I wanted it to be an event where we could get together and create some beautiful projects, and then you would have the ideas and the measurements and be able to adapt your card making to other stamp sets and bundles that you have. However, I am going to, World Card Making Day is going to be October the 2nd, and I'm going to offer 2 sessions on that day in my home. And if they fill up, I will do another session on Sunday afternoon, October the 3rd. But on that day, I'm going to have some giveaways and a prize basket in lieu of the prize basket that I did usually do with an open house, and unfortunately was unable to do this year. But we are going to be focusing on the color and contour bundle that is in the annual catalog. You've probably seen this. I know in the last class that we were together, actually, when we were temporarily in an apartment, we actually created some cards with the Scallop Contours dies. This is a beautiful set. And what makes it even more special, when you order the bundle, you can get the designer paper free. And this is being offered, again, you might recognize it. It is in the Celebration brochure. There are 4 patterns in this pack of 12 by 12 designer paper. There are 4 patterns, and you get 3 sheets of each. So you get a total of 12 by 12 pieces of paper. And on the opposite side, there are patterns as well. You will need this paper in order to participate in the World Card Making Day event. This bundle is a $50 item, and with every $50 you spend during Celebration, you get a free Celebration item, and so you would be able to pick up the paper for free. And in addition to that, I am going to give you a roll of this beautiful shimmer ribbon, and I want to hold this up a little closer if I can. This ribbon can be colored with your blends. There is a subtle iridescent sparkle to the ribbon, but you will get a full roll of ribbon from me as a thank you for participating in World Card Making Day. And you will need this on your projects as well. If you already own the color and contour bundle, you can choose something else of the same value out of the catalog. But I would encourage you, because you will need the paper in order to make the projects. And I'm going to show you a sneak peek of those projects in just a moment. But you will need the paper. So if you own the bundle and you end up purchasing something else, please, please choose this paper as your free item from Celebration. And I have also picked this ribbon so that it will coordinate with the projects. And I am going to show them to you. And I think it'll make more sense once you see the project. Now, after I show you the projects that, just a sneak peek of them, that we will be completing on World Card Making Day, I'm going to create one more card as a pattern, and you'll have this color and contour bundle forever, and you will have these card designs and ideas. And what's really exciting about them, they're all based off of a 6x12 one sheet wonder. What in the world is a one sheet wonder? Well, this is half of a 12x12 piece of designer paper. And the goal is to help you use your designer paper more frugally. And what I did was, you only need one half sheet of your 12x12 paper to complete all of these projects. However, I decided to cut 2 patterns at one time, so I would have a little bit more variety when I put my cards together. So you will get a template that you will be able to keep, and you'll be able to go back to this and be able to create all kinds of cards with the designer paper that you have at home as well, and from other bundles and from other designer paper. So this is the opposite side, and you know that I always try to show both sides of the paper. So one of our cards will actually be using the polka dot pattern as well. So let me pull those in and give you a quick peek. Before I do that, I want you to know that I used Bermuda Bay ink. So I chose one ink along with Memento Black. You'll see how that all comes together on these cards, but I chose Pool Party cardstock as I created with the black and white patterns. Now, what does that look like? Let's see. These are the 6 cards, and I'm just going to show them to you real quickly, that you will be creating on World Card Making Day in this class. What I've done is I've chosen the black and white patterns, and I have chosen, let me pull in the stamp set, and you'll see the dies being used. There are 2 flower images. Let me pull this in, 2 flower images, and they have been used on all of the cards. One or the other has been used. I've used the scallop border as well as the framed dies, either to create a layer on the card or to add the front greeting or inside greeting to the card. And this is a 2-step stamp, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you in just a moment. That means that we stamp a line image, and then Stampin' Up! Has given us a filler image for the color to add. So these are the cards. I'm going to take them away real quickly, but we will talk more about them on World Card Making Day, and you'll notice that beautiful shimmer ribbon. Let me see if I can get it in the light for you. This beautiful shimmer ribbon. All of them use Pool Party cardstock that has been run through the Stampin' Cut machine through the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder. So that might be something you want to add to a purchase if you do not own it, and you could recreate these cards in many different colors. And that's what we're going to do today. I created one more design, and this is just a simple fold. It has basic white cardstock and the black cardstock that I used on all the other cards, as well as the Pool Party and the Bermuda Bay and the Memento Black ink. Now, I wanted to change it up just a little bit for my demonstration today, so I went in the direction of one of our new in colors, which is Polished Pink, along with the Memento Black. And we're going to recreate the exact same card. So I'm going to lay that here, and I'm going to show you the pieces and parts that you'll need along with the measurements. So to create our flower image on the card, you'll need a scrap of basic white cardstock. To create the strip along the front, I've chosen again Polished Pink, one of our new in colors, 1.5 by 4 3/4, and then a strip of white where we will actually stamp the greeting, 1 inch by 4 3/4. Now, the measurement for the designer paper, remember, comes from our half sheet Wonder. So when you cut this paper down, you get 2 5 by 3 3/4 pieces of paper, 2 5 by 2 1/4, 1 2 inch by 3 3/4, and 1 2 by 2 1/4. And that's why you'll be creating 6 cards on that day, because there are 6 pieces of designer paper. So this is one of the 5 by 3 3/4 inch pieces. So we're going to add that to the card after we die cut it with the scallop contour bundles that are in the part of the bundle. Now let's keep going on our pieces and parts. You will need a black piece of cardstock, 5 1/4 by 4. And then you will need your card base. And this is a half sheet of cardstock, which is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. So this is a standard card base. And of course I have used the thick basic white. So these are all the pieces and parts. Now, you don't have to worry too much during the demonstration on measurements, because I will post those in the description of this video. But we do need to use all of these pieces and parts while we create the card. And I have changed things up, and I'm going to show you how I stamp the two-step flower, and I'm going to show you how I put the card together. Some things I have pre-die cut. So let me start with those items. First of all, we have our card base. Okay, we have our card base. That's our basic white. And then I chose the 2 scallop contour dies. I chose the larger one to create the basic black. And I chose the next graduated size down to cut my designer paper. Now this designer paper is different from the piece that I showed you. But remember, I told you I cut 2 of these in order to create my cards, because I wanted some variety in the designer paper. You would not have to do that. You could just cut one pattern and be able to make all these cards. Our new stampers out there, I want you to be able to see everything that I'm doing to put this card together. This really is simple, because every one of the cards that you'll create has a piece of basic black. It has a piece of the colored cardstock, and it has a piece of designer paper. So it's really the same idea for every card. It's just that the designer paper itself is arranged in a different fashion. And of course, the greetings are appropriate to that card. I want to tell you a little bit more about the greetings in just a moment. Okay, so the next thing we need to do in our layering is we need to stamp our greeting. Now, this is the polished pink. So we've gone from Pool Party in Bermuda Bay to polished pink. I wanted to change this up just a little bit. I don't know if you remember a trend a few years ago, but black and pink were all the rage. And I think it's kind of come full circle. I'm seeing it again in the stores, in catalogs, and online. So it never goes out of style. And I will have to say, Stampin' Up! Always keeps up with trends, which I appreciate. I appreciate being able to craft with a company that is very conscious of color and design, and they keep up with trends very nicely. And all the years that I've been using Stampin' Up! Product, I have never found that to be untrue. So I hope that you will take advantage of that as well with our new in colors this year. Now, my strip of basic white needs to be stamped. You'll notice I've left room for my flower and for my bow, so I need to stamp on this side of my strip of paper. So let's move to that. Now I have my stamps already mounted, but let me tell you something about our greetings. I used greetings on all of these cards from Color and Contour, but I also brought in Pansy Patch. And that is in the annual catalog because I wanted the birthday greetings and I wanted more inside greetings for my cards. So on this card, we're going to use a little hello from me to you. I'm sure you have a friend who, through all of this drama the last year, has had or has experienced or maybe is experiencing now some isolation or some loneliness, and a little hello from me to you is a great greeting for that very reason, but it's a great greeting anytime. We don't have to have a special occasion to send a card. We can just send a card because we want to be a blessing and an encouragement in people's lives. So I have found that sometimes a card just does just that. So I've mounted a little hello from me to you. Now, for my new stampers out there and those folks that have not been to any of my classes, let me remind you that when my stamp pad is larger than my greeting, it is best to take the ink to the stamp. That way, I don't have to manipulate the stamp on the block and try to fit it onto the stamp pad. And especially when you have little letters, you want to make sure that they are inked up well. Now you'll notice I did not attach my Whisper White to the card yet because if I make a mistake or I have a boo-boo, there's two sides to the cardstock. So that is always advantageous. You'll hear me say in classes over and over, stamp your layers before attaching them to your card. Okay, so that turned out real nicely. I'm real happy with that. So I feel comfortable now. I don't have any more. And let me get off a little extra ink in case there's some on there. I don't feel bad about going ahead and attaching this because I'm done with that process. Okay, so I just am going to, like I have here, I'm going to attach it down the center of my embossed cardstock. I want to be sure you see the embossing. That's the Tasteful Textiles embossing folder. We'll do that on all of the colored cardstock on these cards. Now, by using the green glue, ladies, I have a little bit better opportunity to move this around. And once I'm satisfied with it, make sure you like how it looks, then press down. Because this was not forgiving after you press it down, as I'm sure many of you know. Okay, so we have that done. Now, moving on to the next item on our card, we have the flower image. And I don't have to pull out my blends and color in the line art. I'm simply going to be able to use another stamp and fill it in. So let me show you that process. Now, the tricky part to using these stamps are having them line up. Now, the color doesn't line up. This is supposed to be more of a watercolor look, but you do want it in the general area of where it's supposed to be. So let me demonstrate that for you. So I have the top written because I've already lined these up, and I'm going to show you what I use to measure that. So I'm inking up with my Memento Black. This is the line art portion of the image. And I'm going to simply, now I'm keeping this at the top of my scrap of basic white. Now, honestly, I'm using photopolymer stamps. So what should Sarah be doing? Sarah should be working on a piece of foam. So let me pull that in, especially before I add color. Now, there's something unique about this image. There's this really long blossom, part of the blossom here. So that's what I used to line this up. Every image that Stampin' Up! Makes, there'll be something that's kind of out of the ordinary, and it's this extra long piece of the blossom. So that's how you know how to line it up. So let's open our polished pink. And remember, we don't dig into the stamp pad. We tap, tap, tap like a bird, especially if you have a good, juicy stamp pad. So tap, tap, tap like a bird. Now, I can line this up. I've got the word top here. So every time I use this, I'm lining it up with this one blossom. When you come to class, we will make sure that you have these labeled blocks when you stamp. And a reminder, you will be using mostly all of my stamp and die materials to complete the class. All right, so we've got a good image here. I love this. Now, one extra step is die cutting. So I needed to find the part of the die that would match up. Again, I'm using this extraordinarily long part of the blossom to even guide where I put my die and run this through the Stampin' Cut. So if you can see, let me get it in the light here. I have put some a Sharpie mark right there on my die. So I always know where to line this up. So here's that petal, part of the petal. And when I put that there, then it's lined up perfectly. And then I run this through the Big Shot. And when I'm done running it through the Big Shot, this is what it looks like. So I've done it off camera. And again, the images line up. You see, this is the elongated part of the blossom. Let me get up here a little closer. The elongated part of the blossom. And then you'll notice that that's my filler color. So you can use your stamping blends and fill the color in, but we did not need to do that. So I cut the image, and so now I have every element on my card completed except the ribbon. So I would be taking off about 6 inches of ribbon, 6 inches of this ribbon. And you're going to have a lot of ribbon left over after the class. So that's why I wanted to give you a whole roll of ribbon. And we're just going to create a bow in the air and be able to attach that to our flower. So now we'll add a little bit of bling. And if you're not familiar with our product, we're going to use our rhinestones. These are glimmery. I'll hold them a little closer to the camera. Our rhinestones. And if you have the Stampin' Blends, remember that you can make these any color that you would like. However, we're going to leave them the silver color that they are. So those are the other elements that we will be adding to the card. So let me close up a couple things here, and then we'll assemble our card. And we will be finished. And you have yet another design of a card to use in addition to what we do on World Card Making Day. So I want to pop this up with dimensionals. Those that are new to our adhesives, these are little bits of foam that have two-sided adhesive on them. And what they do is they raise up the element on the card so it gives the card more depth. And obviously the focal point on this card is going to be this beautiful blossom and the beautiful designer paper. Just love how this all comes together. So I'm going to attach that to my card off to the side just a little bit. That's why we stamped on this side of the strip. And then I want to bring in a little bit stronger adhesive to attach my bow, and these are called glue dots. And we can actually take the element that we want to adhere right to the roll of glue dots. And I used 3 of them. It's pretty strong. Remember, this item's going to be going in and out of an envelope. And so we want to make sure that we have adhered this ribbon well. Now, if that were too long, you could simply trim it up with your scissors. So let me pull them both back in. I'd love to know in the comments what color that you like better. And you'll notice the variety in the designer paper. There are 12 sheets, and you could make 12 cards with the designer paper. So 12 times 12, I believe, is 144. So my goodness, out of one pack of 12 by 12 designer paper, you could make 144 cards using the same template. That would be awesome. Now, obviously, you'll need more materials, but I'm going to have these card kits ready for you on World Card Making Day, and I hope that you will say, yes, yes, I want to come. I want to sign up. Now, I am going to open up registration today, and I am going to put the host code that you need to use in order to register for this class. I will get notice that the host code has been used, and then that will help me to keep a record and begin to prep your kits for the day of. If you choose to attend, you'll also need to choose the time. And again, I will be doing one class from 9 till noon, and then one class from 2 to 5 on Saturday, October the 2nd. I will add a Sunday if need be, if we need more. We have more people than I had anticipated. And that class will be from 2 in the afternoon until 5 o'clock as well. So let me know in the comments what you think. You can register today. What you'll be doing is you will be, again, purchasing the bundle. Let me pull the bundle back in. This is the bundle always includes a die and a stamp set, or a punch and a stamp set. So you will purchase this. If you already own it, you can purchase something else, but you do need to choose this as your free celebration item to create these cards. And you will be receiving the template that you will be able to use forever, and you all get a free roll of ribbon for coming. So I hope that you're excited about our stamping time together in the future. I have been asked, I've been getting a lot of text, are we going to have a Stamp-A-Stack? Yes, we are going to have a Stamp-A-Stack the last Saturday of October. And I believe that is Halloween Eve. And that's, we actually had our Stamp-A-Stack last year on Halloween, and some of you dressed up in your costumes and came to the Stamp-A-Stack, so it was pretty exciting. So anyway, let me know your thoughts, or if you have questions. I would love to hear them, but there will be descriptions and links for you to go to for both the World Card Making Day and the measurements for the card that I just made, so you will have it as well. It's been fun to spend this time with you. I hope that you have enjoyed it, and be looking for my Penguin class online September the 24th. Thank you again, ladies. I look forward to seeing you soon.